importantly. But for people to understand where these young people are coming from, you need to listen. Every time everyone's talking to them. Nobody here sat down and let these young people talk. They need to tell you what's going on. You can't tell them what's going on. They need to tell you, show you what's really going on. You get me? Because that's the way you can help them. You can't help them by saying, this is the way you need to behave. They know that. But if they behave like that on road, they get hurt. Do you know what I mean? You need to listen to what they're trying to say. So me personally, I grew up in southeast London, and one time we was in Burgess Park, and we heard gunshots flying. And my best friend got hit, and I got hit in the leg. Yeah? I didn't even know that until I got to hospital. Now let me tell you this one, if you think you're hard, you're not hard. I'm telling you the truth now. I'm not a bad man, but I'll stand up for myself. It was not until I got to the hospital that I realized that I'd been shot. And the nurse said, your leg is bleeding, and I passed out. When I woke up, I couldn't find my friend, nobody would tell me where he was. Anyway, I found out, long story short, for 3 months I didn't speak to anybody. And I had to assess myself and say, what do I want to do with my life? If I want to carry on road and think I'm a bad man, nobody, while I was in the hospital, none of my brethren that I thought were my true brethren, none of them came up. Nobody. The only thing that I saw was my mum crying. Just crying. And my mum works 3 jobs. Single mum, to try and raise me and my sister. And the only way I can pay her back is by seeing her crying. That's not right, man.
Do you agree that's not right?
It's not right, man. Whatever you're doing, whatever you think you're going through, surely the person that brings you into this world went through how many hours of labor?
23, man.
You understand what I'm saying to you? And then for you to stand up in our face and telling her, do you know what I mean? That you're idiot, you know what you're talking about. That's wrong, man.
Thank you so much, Four Fingers. Please give it up for Four Fingers. He's just shared with you a piece of his life. Yeah. So I pray that you guys have taken what he's said, yeah?
I feel proud, I feel like a king and the world is my throne. I want to grow old and have kids of my own with her. Everything I do, yes I do it for her. I bring the sun down from the sky just for her. She never know pain just as long as I'm alive. And if I had to, of course, I would lay down my life for her. Bring me now, man. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be here for like 5 minutes.
And I'm sure by the end of the day,
other notable individuals at the event included the chairman of Ghana Union, Noble Friends, and Tallow Oil, the sponsors of the event, who all recognised the need for an outlet in which critical dialogues can occur between peers, role models and parents alike.
The Ghanaian High Commissioner, who is a friend of Tallow, and I believe we're a friend of the High Commission here too, visited us a few months ago and asked whether we would help to support this day, because he was rightly very concerned that Ghanaian youth were getting involved in crime and gangs, and there have been some fatalities. He takes his responsibility very seriously as the Ghanaian representative here, so wanted to reach out to them and really show that there was another way, you know, and particularly bring the Ghanaian cultural principles and values to bear. And so he asked us to support, and we take our role in Ghana very seriously, not just in the country where we are doing a lot on the ground, but also more broadly wherever Ghana is represented. So we said yes, we would help to support, and particularly I want to say a huge thank you to our CEO, because I said to him, Aidan, could we support this? And he went, yes, of course we should. So that's why we're supporting, because we also believe that, you know, as the slogan is going here, our youth, our future, we really believe that the youth are the future of Ghana, and we are a company that is going to be in Ghana for the long haul. So definitely we have to invest in the future. And young people here, Ghanaian young people here, yes, they may be here for the meanwhile, but they may be our future engineers, who knows, future leaders of Tallow Ghana. So anything we can do at this stage to really invest in the youth and really show them a different light, and also be role models for them, because there are a lot of great Ghanaians working in Tallow.
So will you be signing up some young people today in the direction of oil exploration?
I mean, we're here, as you can see, we've got our stall here. Leslie, my colleague, and I are here. We are here if we want to wait and see what the High Commission wants to do, what programs. And you know, I'll go back, report back to our HR, and if there are things like week's work experience or internships, but I think most most importantly is that, particularly for us, education is a big thing. So we're supporting a lot of education initiatives in Ghana. And if there's some way we can help with educational initiatives for Ghanaians here, I'm sure we'll look into it. But, and of course, then there's the mentoring, you know, and I would love to be a mentor of a young person and maybe get other Ghanaians who work in Tolo to be mentored, because I think to have someone to look up to and say, okay, I can be like that. Particularly, I was educated in Ghana and here, so, you know, I think if I could, I would love to help.
What is evident, and it is fact, that the youth, the Ghanaian youth in particular, have been affected by gun crime and knife crime in the capital more than many of the other African countries, young children of origin. What do you think are the main reasons for that? What are the issues here?
It will be very difficult to pinpoint the actual issue. In fact, that's the main reason why we've decided today to organize this event, to know from the youth why their friends, why their relatives are being gunned down. And I'm sure by the end of the day, solutions would be found to this problem.
Now, sorry, one more question. Okay. How successful do you feel today's events will be on reducing the problem that we face here?
Well, I'm sure, considering the number of youth and parents who are gathered here today, and the group work as well, I'm sure that by the end of the day, people listening and offering their comments would help solve most of these problems. And when they go home, I'm sure they are going to let their friends and relatives who are absent here today know what they have come to learn or gather here today.
I think from the standpoint of those who are here, and hopefully we have a lot of educationalists here as well as parents and children, that there will be a realization that there is more to life than, you know, walking as if you've got a stone in your shoe or trying to buy the latest, newest trainers. And in actual fact, that if they actually channel some of that hard work and energy into, for example, getting an education, that they can give themselves more options in life. And I'm not saying that, you know, the music isn't a good thing or a bad thing, or the dance is a good thing or a bad thing, but give yourself options. Spend a little bit of that time trying to get yourself knowledge, and hopefully with that diversification you become a better person.
Okay. And if you are able to talk about it, in what capacity will Tolo Oil want to be able to empower or improve the lives of the young people here as well as in Ghana?
But I think any responsible organisation, especially one in an extractive industry like oil, has to ensure that within the communities that it's actually working with, that it grows and develops those communities and does it in combination with the communities. Because if they feel that you're benefiting and they're not, then it creates disharmony. The business case is there. It doesn't have to be one of compassion. It's purely because if you're working in a community, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever not to help develop that community. And that, I mean, the reason I joined the company is because of all the companies that approached me beforehand, this company's heart's in the right place.
Why I was proud to be a Ghanaian, and why I wanted to spend more.
Another notable role model arrived in the form of Hugh Kwashi, Ghanaian actor from Holby City.
There are reasons to be proud to be a Ghanaian. It's not just the fact that we were the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. It's not just the fact that we produced Kwame Nkrumah, who launched the Organization of African Unity. It isn't just the fact that we've had a Secretary General of the United Nations. There are many reasons for us to be proud of what we've achieved. But I know that Ghana is going through many changes at the moment because of the oil wealth, because of the drugs that are being stockpiled there. And there has been a change in the attitude that we have to our own culture. The sense of deference is weakened. Our sense of religion, perhaps, has weakened as people become more questioning. As we become more educated, we become more skeptical. And that may well explain why people feel that in order to succeed, they have to abandon or ignore what is best in our culture. But I would appeal to you to remember always that we come from a good place. We come from good people. We are capable of greatness. We must not let it go. There are times when it all seems very hopeless in this country, and it seems as if the only way to succeed is to be ruthless and individualistic and even violent, remember where you come from. Remember the greatness that was the original empire of Ghana, from which we hope we can borrow for the modern nation state that is Ghana. By working together, we can achieve these things. And I would appeal to you at all times, particularly the young men here, to remember that. And when you achieve greatness, spread it around a little bit. Thank you.
I decided to catch up with him.
Sometimes a sense of hopelessness, of despair, you know, that if you haven't been to this or that school, if you haven't got this or that qualification, then you're on the, on the rubbish heap. But I think there are two things really. There's what can be done for you and what you can do for yourself. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You can't simply just abdicate that responsibility and say, it's not my fault. You know, you have to take responsibility for your actions. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a devout church-going person. It's possible to live a good life without necessarily being a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or whatever. But the key thing is to believe that there is always hope, to take responsibility for yourself. And I think to learn from experience. The key thing is to be intelligent and to remember that we are part of a society. The bigger the society that you feel you belong to, the more civilized you are.
But if you want something, you have to go out and reach for it. But how are you reaching?
Another young, inspiring individual came in the form of Arnold, who makes T-shirts emblazoned with "I'm from Ghana," Mifri Ghana, to make the young people feel proud of who they are and where they come from.
But why Mifri Ghana? I remember when I was in school and people used to ask me, "Oh, so what's your name?" And when I was growing up, it wasn't cool to be African. We weren't even nearly even in the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? It was cool to be a Jamaican, you know what I mean, blood? Yeah. No, but seriously, it was identity. Who was I? I didn't really understand myself to an extent. But if you want something, you have to go out and reach for it. But how are you reaching? Reaching is an effort, it's a verb. And if you know what a verb is, that's a doing word. So what's your action? How are you moving towards your dream? I can't believe I'm moving now because I've got 3 torn ligaments, but I'm just passionate about you young people. I'm only 23 myself, us young people, hey. Yeah, okay. But Mifri Ghana, I said to my dad, how do you write "I'm from Ghana" in tree? And he told me. And before I knew, I walked into my lecture at Brunel University. I sat down and 2 of my Nigerian brethren still like, I like your top. What does that mean? And I was like, I'm from Ghana. And they're like, oh, I can't have one then. But that's not the point. The point is, when I was walking down the strip, I saw people and they were like, Mifri Ghana, hey, chale. You know that's the only language. If you can't speak the language, hey, chale. You know what I mean? And I saw it was bringing the community together.
Edmund from Suban Solutions, thank you for talking to us. Now, you've played a very significant role today for Ghana Youth Day. Tell me about it.
What we do is that we specialize in behavioral management. So we ran a couple of workshops today, not only with the young people, also with the parents, looking at what are the issues that they face on a day-to-day basis and what are some of the solutions to those issues to just try and bring about some kind of harmony and a way to move forward.
Now, what are some of those solutions? Because we can all talk about the need to reduce gun crime and reduce knife crime and to aspire to be better individuals, but what can we actually do? What can the youth actually take away from today?
I mean, not just the youth, we want also the parents to take away. One of the biggest things that we found was communication. Okay. Now that's not just between your peers, but that's also between parents and within families. You know, that's husbands talking to wives, wives talking to their children, children talking to their grandparents, but also young people being able to talk to their peers and speak their mind and be themselves. For them to know that they don't necessarily have to go in a certain direction just because other people are going there. Do you know what I mean? They each have a choice. So for us, and you know, for some of the people that spoke today, it's about the fact that they can achieve if they want to. Now other people have spoken and shown them the way, so they can follow it if they want to do that.